Thanks for tuning in to Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I'm Michelle, the M in Jam Sellers, that with my husband John, we started a decade ago. Live music has always been part of our DNA, and it feels great to host you with our easy-to-love wines while also helping musicians in need. Sweet Relief is a non-profit fund that provides financial assistance for career musicians and industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet. Over the past year, we've surpassed our goal of raising $25,000 for the fund. And with your help, over the next 12 months, Jam Sellers is committed to raising another $25,000 for Sweet Relief. Simply listen in, comment, share, or like, and Jam Sellers will donate $1 up to $2,500 per show if you do. Plus, you can click or text to donate directly to Sweet Relief. So pour yourself a glass of butter Chardonnay and get ready to enjoy some new music. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Welcome into the Jam Happy Hour benefiting Sweet Relief this evening. And a happy Friday to you, wherever you are, whether it's your evening, your afternoon, or you're just smack in the middle of happy hour. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, we've got Alex from Seawolf, who's going to be jumping on, performing some songs, getting to know him and his music a little bit better. Thank you so much for being a part of the happy hour.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
What I love about
pleasure.
This event is like your fans get to come and experience you and your music and maybe get to know a little bit about us, and our fans get to know you a little bit better with your music and kind of where you're coming from and all of this. So it's just a great hour to hang out and get to know each other a little bit better.
I know, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. So if somebody maybe is just jumping in for the first time on a Sweet Relief show, what we are doing is we are raising money for an amazing fund that helps the entertainment industry, specifically like venues and musicians, front of the house, back of the house. I mean, definitely hit super hard during the pandemic, but just in general. So for every click and like and share, emoji, heart emojis, whatever you feel like typing, every single one is going to donate $1, and we're going to take care of that. It's not your dollar, it's our dollar, and up to $2,500. So please feel free to comment, share, like, and if you're enjoying the music with Alex and hanging out tonight, just keep commenting along. We love yellow hearts. And Alex, do you have any favorite emojis?
Favorite emojis?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I like the grin, the grimace grin face.
Oh yeah. That says a lot. Let's get into that a little bit. But simply putting up something like that can raise $1 for this really cool fund. So thank you for everybody who's watching, and thank you, Alex, for jumping in here for you. So if maybe somebody isn't familiar with Seawolf, Seawolf is your project that you've been at for quite some time musically. Kind of give us like a 30,000 foot view of what that is.
Oh boy, I haven't talked about this in a long time. Let's see. Yeah, Seawolf is my band, my project, solo project, but it's also kind of a group project with friends, longtime players, people who've been with me for a long time.
Cool.
And I started playing in like the mid 2000s and came out with the first Seawolf record in 2007. Called Leaves in the River on Dangerbird Records. And since then I've been pretty active touring and putting out music. We actually put a record out in March of 2020, which was like the worst possible timing.
Right at the moment.
Yeah, it was right at the moment. It was literally the week after lockdown. It was like the Friday of the first week of lockdown.
When we thought it was still going to be like a week or two maybe, and then we would all go back to our normal lives.
I guess, yeah. Some people thought that. I didn't. I was like, I don't see how we're getting out of this anytime soon. But yeah, and unfortunately, it'd been maybe 5 years or so since we'd toured at all, and we played a couple shows in 2019. But so I was really looking forward to getting back out there on the road, and then it all just was shut down.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. So,
do you have plans to get back out on the road now that things are kind of opening back up? Live music is back in a big way.
Yeah. Well, we did just play. We did do a tour in April and May. We played like the whole western side of the U.S. Yeah. But I'm kind of like, it's been over 2 years since that album came out, so I'm already working on the next one. And we were talking about maybe doing the East Coast this fall, but I think it wouldn't really make sense because I just need to get a new record done.
That's two-sided though. It's like, okay, fall, winter, touring, that's more southeast.
Yeah, true.
Better weather.
That's
but
true.
Also wanting to finish up the album. I have many questions about your process and how all that jumps from one to the other. And it seems like you're someone who's constantly always working on the next.
Yeah. Yeah, and I am. And sadly, I'm, even though I'm, pretty much working on stuff every day, I'm still, no matter how many song ideas I come up with, I still end up with few songs. I'm just my process is kind of slow, sadly. It just takes me a long time to get enough songs that I actually think are good enough to put on a record. So the last record was like, I made an entire record and then completely started over. This time I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I know it was hard. That's why it was so long. It was really painful. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff in my personal life, a lot of things happening that were, affecting my ability to like make stuff that I felt good about. But so that was probably part of it. But now I don't know. I'm feeling really excited, and right now I've been like on a songwriting tear. So yeah. So it feels good. I'm excited to like put out another record.
I feel like a lot of people in the last couple of years maybe have a different perspective on things.
Yeah.
From where they went in. So I can kind of, I don't want to say commiserate, but I can kind of understand what you're saying in that sense of like, I feel like I'm a totally different person now than I was a couple of years ago.
Well, definitely. And I was personally going through stuff. So that record was it was very cathartic and personal and painful. And now I'm just like ready to make something that's fun for me. I'm just like, okay, I want to have fun on this record. Not that it's necessarily going to be like a party album or anything, but just kind of play a little bit more.
Well, speaking of playing, I always like to jump in kind of right away, just in case, we've got people that maybe aren't familiar with your sound and kind of what you bring with obviously yourself, Alex, but also Seawolf. And obviously that's a collaborative effort, but we just have you this evening. So how is this different from what we would find on the albums?
It's very different. I mean, the records sound like a full band, so there's drums, bass, a lot of keyboards and strings and layers and electric guitars, etc. So it's very different. The songs themselves, they're gonna sound, they're just gonna sound like the blueprints of the songs that you hear on the record, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I invite everybody to definitely follow along on all the socials, support on Spotify and all of your streaming platforms to go and listen to the full versions. But tonight, here in the Jam Happy Hour, we are going to be treated to the acoustic blueprint versions of these songs. And what would you like to play for us first this evening, Alex?
That's a good question. What am I feeling here? All right. Thinking maybe I'll do Old Friend from the 2012 album, Old Friend. Old friend, come back home. Even though you always were alone, you had to push against the fates just to make it through the gate. But now we're getting older and we're growing up, see no reflection in the water and we know enough. Stood up on a rooftop on a night so clear that the lights from the city just disappeared. And I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it would get much easier if we wanted to. old friend, come to me. Everything I was, I used to be. I went north and I went east, following the footsteps of some beautiful beast. But now we're getting older and we're growing up, seen our reflection in the water and we know enough. Stood up on a rooftop on a night so clear that the lights from the city just disappeared. And I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it will get much easier if we wanted to. I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it will get much easier if we wanted to. Oh, how we used to run up in the park, cool air and eucalyptus leaves. Oh, how we look out over the bay, watch the fog roll through the gate. We couldn't wait to get away. I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it will get much easier if we wanted to. I know you don't believe me when I believe in you. I know it is getting easier, just like we're supposed to do.
That is a great start to the Jam Happy Hour. Alex with Seawolf. There's such a vibe in that song that we were talking about it earlier in the week, that women tend to hear lyrics and men tend to hear music, but it seems like there's more of a story in that song.
Yeah.
That it's, I mean, I may have it wrong. It gave me like a sense of longing, like wanting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the lyrics, or a lot of Seawolf songs, are kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that song is. I wrote that song. Spent some time in Montreal
Mm-hmm.
around the time of my second record for a good couple of years because my girlfriend at the time was from there,
Okay.
and so
I hear it's beautiful.
it is beautiful, and I think coming back home was a big influence on the record that I wrote. Old World Romance was the name of the album that this song was on, and yeah, there was a bit of like that longing for. I felt homesick when I was away, so it felt
Mm-hmm.
really good to come back. And I just kind of was thinking of sort of reconnecting with people from my past and things like that. And this song actually takes place in the Bay Area, even though I live in LA, because I came through.
Does that album feel 10 years old?
Um, yes and no. Yeah.
Yes and no. It's
Yes
like,
and no.
does
Yeah.
yesterday feel like yesterday? Yes and no. Like
Yeah.
everything. Nobody can tell time anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to like. There's some songs that I feel like still resonate with me today, and some songs don't. And that album, I don't know. I think it's the same for that record. Some do and some don't.
Certainly understand that, especially when you think about how much everything has changed in the last 10 years and how much music you've put out
Sure.
since then too. Like you've been
Oh yeah.
pretty consistent with like putting out music pretty continuously. And like you touched on earlier in the show, you are always working on the next song. Do you ever
hmm
like find it frustrating when you can't get that idea down?
Totally.
The first,
Yeah.
right?
I know. I know. Well. For me, it's there's a lot of just messing around, sitting around messing around and trying to like find an idea.
Hmm.
Um, and then there are moments where like an idea hits you kind of fast, or uh, and at that time, at that point, it's just trying to record as you can, you know. Um, but it, uh, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out right now. I'm writing
Right.
songs from this new album, and I'm like kind of having to learn how to do it all over again in a way. Yeah,
It is. It's ever changing. That's for sure. Whereas before you used to run around with like a notepad and like write everything down as fast as you could. Now it's all like voice notes. You can immediately
yeah,
record something right into your phone. Like,
yeah, which is good. But you know that then you listen to it later, and you're like, "What the hell was I doing? I have no idea. Like, what was that?" Yeah.
I'm always curious, since your brain is like always on and always kind of in that like musician kind of mindset. Do you ever wake up and find stuff that you did in your sleep?
Um, Not like unknowingly that
Right.
that I wake up and I'm like, what the hell is this? But I have definitely woken up in the middle of the night with the song in my head and started
Hmm.
and done that. Dreaming the song,
Sure.
and yeah, and at some point in the dream being like, wait, this is not an existing song. I'm making this up right now. I'm waking up and just grab the phone and record. Yeah,
Can
but
you think of a song that was a dream that has made it onto one of your recent albums?
no, there's only one song which is actually may or may not make it onto this new album.
Ooh.
But I don't know. It's very catchy. It's very poppy. It's almost like too much, too more like
Is there too much of Poppy Happy right now, Alex? No.
maybe not. I mean, it's not a
No.
happy poppy. It's more of like a 80s, you know,
Mhm.
like gothy pop. I don't know. Think The
80s
Cure. Think The Cure.
gothy pop. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, where are we going with the 80s pop? Okay, I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. With new music, and we talked about the fact that you have plans to get back onto the road. You have obviously plans to continue to release more new music, like, and you're kind of moving into this like poppier, kind of like happier space versus the last album.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think that's
Somewhat.
because you need that energy, or do you think it's because we need that energy?
Well, I always go with what I feel like I need because
Hmm.
I can't fake it. If I fake it, then it sounds
Sure.
faked. Um, but I also feel like it's what we need too.
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, it's, I found myself during the pandemic, just I say during the pandemic, even, I guess, I don't know if it's technically over. I guess
We're
Biden said
going
it
with
was,
it.
but
We're
we're
going
going
with
with it.
over.
Sure. Feels over.
Mentally, we
Um,
need it.
yeah. So late 2020, early 21, I just found myself wanting like escapism, and
Mhm.
just like entertainment.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Outside of your music, if it's a personal question, I apologize, but when you needed to escape and you needed to kind of get out of that headset, what was it that you always would turn to?
I mean, I think what everybody else was just like a lot of TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of streaming.
What can
Um,
we binge watch
yeah,
today?
yeah, exactly. That or TV, movies, or I don't think I even read anything for a long time.
Yeah.
Only the past year, I think, have I started to read again. I don't know. Maybe I was too stressed to read or something. I don't know.
It's great for anxiety. I mean, it's hard to be like crazy and anxietal when you're actually reading words off of a page. So I've actually tried
Yeah.
to start reading more myself too. So we can get into our book club here in a little bit, but time is
Okay.
flying by
Sounds
super
good.
fast.
Yeah.
And we're already 20 minutes in. And this is
Nice.
about you and your music. And I would love to jump into another song. And while you get ready for that, I just want to reset everybody that this is Jam Happy Hour for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So if you're loving the music, or you're just, I know we've got people popping in from all over the world. I've seen different countries pop up. So just comment where you're listening from this evening, because each and every comment that you post, we will donate $1 to the fund, up to $2,500. And it's a great way to kind of see where everybody's at. So greetings from Las Vegas. I'll type that in here in just a second. And what would you like to play for us next?
I think I'll play Dear Fellow Traveler, which is also from the same record as Old Friend. Is Are we doing one song? Are we doing two songs?
I would love it if you could do two back to back and we just kind of vibe
Sure.
out.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll start with Dear Fellow Traveler.
Great.
Dear fellow traveler, under the moon, I saw you standing in the shadows and your eyes were blue. You put your hand out, opened the door. You said, come with me, boy, I want to show you something more. You spoke my language and touched my limbs. It wasn't difficult to pull me from myself again. And in our travels, we found a rose. You held it like a mirror up to show me what I chose. And I'll return to my beautiful city. Black skies will change into blue. And though my love is so wise and so pretty, some nights I still dream of you. Dear fellow traveler, under the moon, I think I'm growing weary and I'm hoping you'll come soon. And if I see you in clean new clothes, I hope you hold the mirror up to show me what I chose. And I'll return to my beautiful city. Black skies will change into blue. And though my love is so wise and so pretty, some nights I still dream of you. And I'll return to my beautiful city. Black skies will change into blue. Oh, my love is so wise and so pretty. Some nights I still dream of you. And I know you're out there in the shadows. I know you're out there in the shadows. I know you're out there in the shadows. Dear fellow traveler, underneath the moon. Dear fellow traveler, underneath the moon. Dear fellow traveler, underneath the moon. Dear fellow traveler, underneath the moon.
Okay, I'm gonna play a song from the most recent Seawolf album. The song's called Frank O'Hara. Hold on.
Frank Frank O'Hara, standing in the subway, imagined you beside me, as if you could hide me. Love won that day, lifted all of us up. What would you have written? Would words have even been enough? Drove through deserts, garbage in the meadows, saw ourselves in windows, hidden in the shadows. No one really knew us, not the way we wanted, so we had to listen to the voices haunting us. So this is love. So this is love. So this is love. So this is love. Frank O'Hara, wish you could have been there. You and me and mother, know your former lovers. I was always with you, though we're not the same. I know what it was to grow up with the shame. So this is love. 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 Frank O'Hara, wish you could have been there. What would you have written? Would words have even been enough?
Again, you take us to places with those songs. It is such a great, like, you kind of get lost in this, like, really great kind of storytelling. And for me, I almost see it visually. Like when you hear a great song, you can always picture the movie to it in your mind, if that makes any sense.
That's good. No, I'm so happy to hear that, because I very much have a picture in my mind for pretty much all my songs. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Do you find that you maybe see the picture before the music, or does it kind of come all together as one?
Um, it kind of comes all together. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean the lyrics paint the picture really, but um, often, usually I'll come up with the music and the melody first, and
Hmm.
then as the lyrics sort of start to fill in, then the picture really sort of solidifies for me.
That's really cool. I
Yeah.
love that. I when we as the listener get to hear a song and enjoy a song, and everybody's been commenting along, and it's fantastic because every time you do, we raise $1, so keep it up. But everybody really enjoys your songwriting, but you tend to think of it in layers.
I tend to think of it in layers.
But you talk about how it's like you'll hear the melody and then the lyrics and then the
Right.
visual, and then like when we hear your song, we're immersed in the song.
The whole
But
thing. Yeah.
you can look at all the individual parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just from me. That's from the writing, going through the
Mhm.
process of writing the song. Yeah. Yeah, and in the end, it becomes one thing. Yeah, one whole thing.
So I've always been curious when you are a songwriter, and that is how you hear your own music. When you hear other people's music, do you tend to think of it in layers as well?
Not at first. Oh, hold on one
Cool.
second. I just realized. Hold on. Um, I have like reverb that
Oh,
I'm gonna mute. There it is. Hello, hello, still there? Hey,
I don't
there we
know.
go. Okay, there we go. That sounds
Technology
more
is great.
natural. Yeah. Um, I,
Like, do
I,
you get to listen to a song in the way that we listen to a song? Like, as a
yeah,
non-songwriter, we just enjoy the music, but it's your craft. It's what you do. Do you
yeah.
hear them differently?
I mean, I hope not. I hope I hear them the same as everybody else. But I'm sure that I notice things that other people don't notice. Um, but I don't know. I try to not really analyze anything. If I want to like learn from a song, or I want to like really
Hmm.
pay attention to it and see what they did there, I'll usually, that'll come later. That'll come after I've heard it a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just kind of want to enjoy the song,
And
and
we
not
get to
think about
enjoy
it too
your
much.
songs
Yeah.
tonight, which is fantastic. And again, thanks for being with us. If you guys aren't
Yeah.
familiar with Seawolf, again, I recommend you go and hit all your streaming platforms because the songs that you're hearing tonight, they live in a very different space when it is the full project together. We're just getting a very, unique kind of a little dive into the music with Alex tonight as we raise money for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So please continue to comment, like, and share along as we raise money for this really great foundation. Um, in one of your album titles, it comes back in like 14, a hot minute ago, you used one of my favorite words ever, and it is song spells.
Mm.
And I think
Hmm.
the beauty of music is whether you're really happy or you're really sad or you're really confused or you're really frustrated, like a song will come along and it will hit on the same note that you're on. And
Yeah.
I think that is such a powerful moment when you realize that you're not alone in your feelings and you're not alone in your experience. And here's somebody else I don't even know who's having the same experience as me. To me, that is a song spell when you can lose yourself in your own feelings and somebody else's work. What is that song? What does that word mean to you?
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a play on the word spell,
Mm-hmm.
meaning, being like a magical spell,
Mm-hmm.
as you kind of, as you intend.
Mm-hmm.
But it also is it's sort of a double meaning. It's like a magical spell of that music can have over you, uh, and also a spell of time.
Mm-hmm.
So that record was meant to be part of like a series of albums done in a short period of time.
Hmm.
So like a 4 month period, like written, recorded, the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was done in that length of time, and I had this idea of like doing that because I have as I've said earlier today, that it
Mm-hmm.
takes me a long time to accumulate enough songs that I actually like. So it was a challenge to myself in a way to
Okay.
just go with like first instincts, not overthink, and like put songs just like, okay, got, as soon as I have written enough songs, then that's going on the record, and I'm gonna just make it of it what it will. And it turned out to be
Sounds
like
stressful.
it was, but it was a good thing. It turned out to be maybe I shouldn't despair. This is not to disparage me of the record, but it turned out to be my favorite album.
How
I think I think because I didn't overthink it, so I don't have any associations of like working painfully hard and on it. It was all just like it happened quickly. So it
Sure.
feels when I hear that record, it sounds like it happened quickly, for better or for worse. But it was just fun. I think that's what I would really say what it was. And since then, I I think that I will do that again, but because it just takes me so long to write music, I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe the next Song Spells record will just be my next record, which is kind of what this new album is. Yeah, this new album, I'm kind of trying to approach it in that same way, but it's kind of in the same way, going about it fast. And,
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
not to hold your feet to the musical fire. If you are kind of doing that, don't overthink it. Just kind of go with it and let it be. It's kind of thing. Like, what is your like mental time frame of I would like to have this next musical song spell baby out into the world by ...
Spring. Yeah, but I mean, like, be recording by November, December. I mean, I've already recorded like half the songs actually.
That is very soon.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I'm not. I don't have quite enough songs yet, and
Yeah.
so I just need to write a couple more songs. So that could take a week, or it could take 6 months. Like I don't know. Yeah.
If I had to sit down and write something, like, I don't know, that kind of stresses me out. But I mean, I can crank something out, but it's not going to be beautiful and it's not going to be musical.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Do you have the ability to sit down and go, I'm going to write today and just get through something?
I do, but I don't. I can tell pretty quickly if something is worth continuing on or not. So what I'll do is I'll easily come up with like 10 ideas, I'll come up and and then if there's one of those or a couple of those that I'm like, this is awesome, then I'll continue working on it. But most of the time, I record everything and I make sure to come back and listen a few months down the line just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But
so you come back with full fresh ears.
Oh yeah. I kind of record every single idea that I have, and then I come back to and listen. I like have a whole process to go listen through it. But usually, like most of the time, my in the moment filter is correct. So sometimes I'll come back and be like, oh, there's that one. That's actually great. I'll discover a couple songs that way.
I think a lot of us can probably take that lesson into life. A lot of times your first impression is probably the right impression, and just, kind of sit with it and go with it. But it's always a good idea to double check your work, as your second grade teacher would say.
For sure. Yeah, because sometimes you think often I'll think something is good and I'll work on it and then I'll end up abandoning it later. So yeah, sometimes you think something's good and it isn't, and sometimes you think something's not good and it is. And yeah, it takes that's why it's good to record everything just in case.
That's really interesting. I know plenty of artists that don't record everything. So you've got like a whole hidey hole of all of these songs that
I've got
may or may not ever see the light of day.
Literally thousands.
Alex,
I know.
Man,
and the thing is that a lot of them, people would be like, that's a good song. That's a good song. I'm just like, yeah, but it doesn't, I don't know.
All right, I'm going to invite our viewers to comment along if they want you to release all of those songs in Song Spells 3, and then we can just decide which ones we like best.
Okay.
No pressure whatsoever. Yeah. It is about the music this evening. I do want to jump in on another song. I know we've got about 20 minutes left with you this evening, so maybe a couple more songs. But what song would you like to play for us next?
I'll do Young Bodies from the Song Spells album.
Oh, perfect. That worked out great.
This is one of those songs that I wrote and recorded. Like I wrote the song and recorded in probably an hour because I had everything set up. So that doesn't happen very often, but
Right.
those are often my favorite songs.
Excellent.
So here we go. Actually, wait.
Outside in the evening spent, bored so we ran around. Young bodies in motion, tearing through the town. We laid on your parents' floor, listened to 4 a.m. to the tapes we used to make, never would again. Shadows up, moving through cedar smoke in your room, covered up, you and me the way we used to be. When I look at you, I see days in the way they move, like clouds across the sky with nothing left to prove. So this is where I admit I don't know shit and I never did. Seems like some dirty trick they pulled when we were kids. Ooh, I don't love her like you loved her. I don't love her. I don't love her anymore. Shadows up, moving through cedar smoke in your room, covered up, you and me the way we used to be. I don't know if there is some lesson to be learned, or if young bodies in motion always push the turns. Ooh, I don't love her like you loved her. I don't love her. I don't love her anymore. Shadows up, moving through cedar smoke in your room, covered up, you and me the way we used to be. Shadows up, moving through cedar smoke in your room, covered up, you and me the way we used to be.
It's just so easy to lose yourself in the music. And I'm very curious, do you feel like it still kind of has that transformative kind of a vibe to it when it is the full production, when it is, the full band?
Yeah, it's a different thing because the lyrics aren't as, especially live, like, they're not as prominent and
Forward, yeah.
forward, yeah. When it's just the guitar and the vocal, you got nothing else to pay attention to. So, but like that song is pretty sparse on the record too. It's like there's just maybe 2 other things on it. It's really minimal. But some of the other songs I played are, there's a lot more going on. But I think that the lyrics do come through if you're a lyric person.
Well, they're very personal lyrics
pays
too.
attention. Somebody that-
So, if they attach to you in your heart or your ear, you're either commiserating with it or you've certainly been there before. And again, that's the beautiful thing about music. It is a shared experience, whether it's
Yeah.
being performed by one person or by, a bunch of people, that we get to share it in whatever headspace you're in at that time.
Mm-hmm.
is exactly where you need to be at that time. And again, to just kind of reset, tonight we are on the Jam Happy Hour with Alex from Seawolf, who is performing some songs for this evening as we raise money for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. So please feel free to comment, like, share, request if you want to throw those out there, because I clearly have a lot of your fans in here tonight.
All right, good. I don't know where the comments are. I haven't been looking at them.
Emily will pop them up here and there for you. We've been
Okay.
enjoying reading them
they're-
while you're performing. But the love is
Better.
strong.
Good. That's nice.
For sure. We have a little bit of time left. I got about 15 minutes left. We talked about the fact that you are working on new music. You have big plans for 23, which is bonkers to say.
I know. I can't believe it.
I still feel like it's 2019 in some ways. But no, we are back, and live music is back, and touring is back, and with a new project coming. I know you're in the process of creating it, but do you find yourself looking ahead to, okay, what am I going to package around it? Whether that is going to be the tour, whether that's going to be, obviously we talked about being visual, there's content,
Right. That stuff, I mean, yeah, I kind of like think about the album art. Sometimes I'll think about it early, and then sometimes I'll wait last minute, but I have some ideas for it. But I don't really want to say what they are yet, but definitely tour wise, yes, we'll be back on the road, like for real, next year. That's the plan. Is put out a new album and finally get out and actually go do a full U.S. run, and probably go over to Europe too for a run as well. At least one.
That's a lot.
Good tour. Yeah. Yeah, because it's been a long time, and I just want to get out there and play shows. And it was great to play in the spring when we did.
You said you did a West Coast tour, and you kind of
Yeah.
got back out there. What was
Yeah.
it like just to be back in the venues and be back with, the front of the house, the back of the house, like the whole machine firing back up? Like, were you
Yeah.
slightly trepidatious about it, or were you just like, this is amazing, I've missed this so much, and you have a whole new gratitude for it?
I went into it trepidatious, and then I came out of it. Actually, the first show, the moment we got to the venue, I was so excited. It was like I was so stressed before, like, it's been so long since I've done this,
Yeah.
We haven't played a show in a long time. I mean, we played 4 shows in 2019, 2 in LA and 2 in New York on this special thing. And then, but before that, it had been, I think it was 2013 was the last full band tour. And because in the 2014, the Cedar Smoke album, I toured solo, and then we did, for that album. And then we did like some stripped down, me and Scott and Lisa, who play.
Yeah.
Scott's the guitarist, Lisa is the keyboard player. We went over to Europe and did trio shows. So we hadn't done like a full band thing, and let alone travel around the U.S. in a van with a trailer, do that thing in a while.
That's got to bring you close.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, this is going to suck. But literally, like, we pulled up in the first venue, and I was like so excited. I was so excited. It was fun to unload gear, I was like, this is great,
It's like I missed this. Like, you forget how much you missed that energy.
Yeah, and it's for sure it's work and stuff, but being a musician is strange because most of the time I'm not interfacing with people who are actually listening to the music. I'm just kind of like in my world, in my head, and just in this very small world, in the bubble. So then going out and actually playing and having people be there at the shows, you're like, oh yeah, this is it just makes you feel, I don't know, makes it feel all worth it in a way.
Yeah, connected.
It's worth it. Yeah, connected. I mean, it's worth it no matter what, but it's just very gratifying, and I just felt super grateful.
All the hours, all the work, all the edits, all the songs that didn't make it that are sitting in that hidey hole box of yours over here, like everything that you've struggled to put out into the world, when you can actually have that shared experience with people. Like, we're having a shared experience tonight, but it's different when they're singing it back to you face to face.
Yeah, and then just meeting people after the show face to face and talking to people and stuff. That was really great. It was great. I was very thankful, very grateful to, like, I don't know, be back, and also just that so many people still cared about Seawolf and cared about coming to see live music and support and do all that.
I think it's obvious people do very much still care about Seawolf, the project, the music that you're putting out, hanging out here tonight. With the shift and the pivot that we've done in the last couple of years, we get to have this intimate kind of show with our friends from all around the world.
I know, this is a whole new thing.
I'm not mad at it though. Like it's a situation we would not have had, prior to the pandemic, I don't believe. But here's a great way for us to have this like really cool hour of just kind of connecting and getting to know you and the music a little bit better. And there are people, here in the night that are getting to see you for the very first time, which is crazy because you've been putting out music for so long. Here's a way to connect with a newer audience. And if you are new, put them in the comments below, because every comment's going to be $1 towards an amazing fun. And that's what we're enjoying here tonight, getting to know Seawolf a little bit better too. We have time for one more song. What would you like to wrap up with this evening?
Oh boy.
No pressure.
I'm not sure. I know. Have you guys been seeing a lot of any particular song people sang? Have you seen anybody say like, "Hey, play this song"?
Emily can check into the comments.
That's okay.
We can chit chat while she checks. That's fine, because I'm very curious. You from California, school in New York. You talk about East Coast, West Coast. You talk about Europe. I mean, obviously, you're someone who likes to move. You like to not be in one place. How do you think that kind of influenced your music a little bit, or a lot?
Oh yeah, definitely it's influenced a lot. I mean, I like to have a strong home base for sure. I'm not somebody that's like, I'm not a wandering kind of person, but I do like to go out into the world and see what's out there and explore. And I've just because of the circumstances, I lived in France for a little bit as a kid and grew up in Northern California, grew up in the Bay Area, Berkeley, and we also lived in the Sierras. And I'm not sure if you know Columbia, California. It's like a historic gold rush town. I lived there till I was.
Well, my maiden name is Sutter, so.
All right.
A little familiar with the Sutter Mill, Sutter Fort area.
Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Random fact.
Yeah. And then, I lived in New York I went to NYU and then moved to LA, and then had a girlfriend in Montreal and was there for a couple of years. And I've just I don't know. I've been all over a little bit. Yeah. And I don't know, I think the film, when I grew up, I wanted to be a writer, and I kind of always had stories. I was only child, so I played a lot by myself and had a very vivid imagination, which often
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Based. Yeah. So I think that plays into when I write songs. I often have like a visual scenario involved, and it's it's very often a place that I've been in my life, even if it's not like 100% autobiographical. It's sort of impressionistic response to places I've been.
Well, I'm gonna ask you to choose between two of your musical babies, because as far as the requests go in the chat, there's a lot for Visions and there's a lot for Whirlpool.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I don't think I can play either of those.
Two in. You can do both if you want. I'm not mad at it.
I can't do either of them actually, because I have not ever played Visions since recording it for the Song Spells record, Cedar Smoke record.
Don't you then?
So, and Whirlpool, it's also been a very long time. I don't even remember the chords. So I'm gonna have to say, damn it.
It's like, oh my gosh, I just lost.
That's why people ask for them, because they haven't heard me play them. There you go. What were you gonna say?
I was trying to remember Michael Stipe. They said REM had so many songs, he'd forgotten everything, so he always had everything written down in front of him. as far as like lyrics and stuff like that.
Right.
And, you know, when you've got a catalog as large as yours, like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also been a lot of requests for Orion.
Orion and Dog. Oh, interesting.
I'm getting them fed to me. Forever Nevermore.
Forever Nevermore. Yeah. The other
Or
question
how about
was, like,
this? Artist choice.
artist choice. I know. Are you drinking wine?
Yes.
You are.
It's the Jam Happy Hour.
It's the Jam Happy Hour. I'm
And
jealous.
cheers to everybody who is listening along and enjoying tonight, whether you're sipping bubbly water, wine, ginger ale, apple juice, it doesn't matter. Just thanks for enjoying the music with us tonight and enjoying Alex with Wolf. What feels good right now?
Yeah. I know.
We're stumping you.
I'm gonna look. I have like a book here.
Well, Alex looks at his book and figures out what we're going to wrap up with this evening. Thank you to everybody who has liked and commented and shared. Because honestly, every time you do that, it raises $1 for this really great fund that we love supporting. So tonight you can help us raise up to $2,500 for Sweet Relief. There's great merch for Sweet Relief. You want to get some really cool concert tees and all of it's, M's going to put it up for you right there. You got all the information that you need. So feel free to support this great cause and enjoy more great music here with Alex from Seawolf here in the Jam Happy Hour. Before we wrap it up, I know we're going to get a little more music out of Mr. Mayhem.
I guess I'll try Forever Nevermore. And
Some very happy people in the chat right now.
yeah, okay, cool. How should I do this? Some of the, the thing with me just playing by myself is some songs are better than others,
Sure.
just with an acoustic guitar. So this one, I might like try to finger pick or something.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, go for it.
It could be a train wreck. But
But it could be amazing too.
it could be.
We're in it together.
Or
That's
not.
all that matters.
Hopefully I remember the lyrics. Okay, here we go.
Stepped out, cool dirt under feet, and the fog in the air. And
Hold on a second. Sorry. I'm going to adjust. Maybe I'll try and strum. Sorry. Sorry, I just completely blanked on that song. Hold on one second.
stepped out, cool dirt under feet, and the fog in the air and the crack of the snare bittersweet. Loud sounds was such a relief, 'cause they crowded our thoughts and allowed us to not have to speak. But the girls everywhere, with the jewels in their hair, were undressed for the cold, like a part of the show. Every step was a pose, was a scene for a lens to behold. As we pushed through the crowd, with the drums getting loud, you were moving ahead where I always had led. So I reached for your hand because I was afraid I was losing my way again. Didn't know what I wanted before. Didn't think I could say it forever, nevermore. Didn't know what I wanted or what to do. Didn't know what I wanted before. Didn't think I could say it forever, nevermore. Didn't know what I wanted or what to do. Moved on to a different stage. And the daylight was fading with...
Shit, sorry you guys. It's like rubbing my belly and patting my head at the same time. Hold on a second, let me try to just play it the usual way.
Stepped out.
That's the wrong word. Fuck, this is a train wreck. Come back, come back.
Yes, that's right. We don't think it's a train wreck. Here's the fun thing.
Yeah.
We don't know. It just sounds so good. But I didn't mean to.
I know.
God,
Well, the thing is I think it's like I'm thinking about how to play the song with the guitar, and then as soon as I start doing that, I forget where I'm at with the words. And
well, you said it. It was the rub your belly and tap your head at the same time.
Exactly.
I
know. Shit, which is too bad because I thought it was going well.
I thought it sounded fantastic, honestly, as did everybody in the comments. There were a few, like, this was the first song that I found you through, and like all this.
Fuck, really? Oh man,
but
sorry you guys.
We just got to enjoy it together.
Yeah.
So none of that stuff.
Well, maybe how about I do a different song, because I think that I can't start that one again. Sorry you guys.
No. What would you like to wrap up with? This afternoon?
Yeah. Sorry about Forever Nevermore. I guess I'll do Old Friend, because that one I know like at the back of my hand. I won't fuck that one up for sure. Not Old Friend, sorry. You're a Wolf.
We are all ears.
I'm a southern, get to the river for a run too low. I'm walking down a southern street, get to the river for a run too low. Old gypsy woman spoke to me, lips stained red from a bottle of wine. Old gypsy woman spoke to me, lips stained red from a bottle of wine. The one that you were looking for, you're not gonna find her here. The one that you were looking for, you're not gonna find her gypsy woman spoke to me, said you're a wolf, boy, get out of this town. Old gypsy woman spoke to me, said, "You're a wolf, boy, get out of this town. You're a wolf, boy, get out of this town. You're a wolf, boy, get out of this town. You're a wolf. You're a wolf. You're a wolf. You're a wolf."
Obviously, we're a fan of the wolf. You're a wolf. Sea wolf. Wolf is a thing. I don't know what it is with kids. Kids loves wolf. My daughter loves wolves.
Mm-hmm.
We got a comment there from our YouTube listener that her 4-year-old loves that song and asks for it every time
that's
they're in the
cool.
car.
That's nice.
So thanks to everybody who was commenting along tonight, whether we saw Elise and Dell, Brant, and Brenda, and Tyler, and everyone just like, there you go. Brant says it's his daughter's favorite song too. So just a taste of what your music does for everyone who gets to enjoy it. And we look forward to new music in the new year, new tour dates coming up soon. And hopefully you'll come back and do this again with us here in the Jam Happy Hour for Sweet Relief.
Love to. That was super fun. Thank you so much.
It's the fastest hour ever. I really appreciate
really
your
is.
time and your storytelling and just being a part of the fun and raising money for us. You guys, please, if you don't already, follow along on all of Seawolf socials so you can help support the music. And again, I invite you to go back to Spotify and hear it in a whole different way, and you can have the entire hour all over again. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, that was really fun. Thanks so much.
I would love to do
awesome.
it again. Have a beautiful night.
You too.